Commission has now announced repolling in 15 booths in West Bengal. Madhav?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, we can get into that, but this is very significant because this is in the Magrahat area where repolling is to be held tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, one will have to see what the implications of this are, because it is not very often that Election Commission orders this kind of repoll. We know that typically it happens only in areas where, there is, of course, a significant amount of violence that has taken place. And if you can quickly bring up that Election Commission order, and just like to read out from it, in fact, couple of points. It is, in fact, to the Chief Electoral Officer, West Bengal, Kolkata, and in fact, it's signed by the Sujit Kumar Mishra, who's the secretary. They have given the specifics. In South 24 Parganas, there is 143 Diamond Harbour. In South 24 Parganas, there's 142 Magrahat Paschim, and there's also, of course, booths in South 24 Parganas, 142 again Magrahat Paschim. The specific booth details we have, but we can quickly get in Hrita on this. Hrita, take us through the kind of incidents that were reported. We had seen various acts of violence which were reported through the course of the second phase. Can you confirm to us which were these incidents where this polling is taking place?
Well, absolutely, Madhav. If I talk to you about the violence that had taken place on 29th April during the second phase of election, remember Diamond Harbour, then Falta and Magrahat Paschim Magrahat were under the speculations of the CEO. From there, we have been getting repeated notice of violence that has been coming up. Firstly, about the bandages incident that came up. Secondly, the Ittar incident. And after that, from the booths, the CEO had asked all the ROs to give an complaint, and today morning the complaints have been given by the Paschim Magrahat at the 142 assembly, and from the Diamond Harbour, which is the 143 assembly number. Also from Falta, we are getting to understand that as of now 30 complaints have been received from different ROs over 30 booths. That is the 144 assembly constituency number. So after all these complaints that have been received by the CEO office today morning from the ROs, the CEO had written to the ECI, and the ECI as of now.
All right. So how much will this address the complaints that there was some amount of influence used or unfair means used? The Election Commission choosing to use this particular opportunity. And in fact, Pratibha, you have that letter copy with you. Quickly take us through that letter.
So here is what the letter says. I am directed to state that on the basis of reports received from the concerned returning officers and the observers, the places have been mentioned as well, Magrahat Paschim as well as Diamond Harbour, regarding poll taken for general election to Legislative Assembly of West Bengal held on the 29th. After taking all material circumstances into account, the Commission hereby declares, under sections being mentioned as well, that there will be repolling, aforesaid election to the following polling stations will remain invalid. That is what it says. And further to state that the widest possible publicity should be given by beating of drums, etc. and polling area contesting candidates should be informed in writing about the fresh polling being taken up. And these are the timings that have been given as well, as usual, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, and I think Diamond Harbour is the area of Abhishek Banerjee, and that's why also it's quite significant. And Rashid Gidwai, we were debating this earlier. Why is there such a huge time between the date of poll and the date of counting? This is exactly why. This is exactly the reason why, because you need to have the buffer to conduct a repoll. Otherwise, people will say that this is not a fair election.